Today on Animal Outtakes,
Giving a retired professional athlete a second chance for a home life is so worth it.
from the fastest feet to bald is beautiful,
It's kind of got a little waxy feel to it.
and some of the brightest of the bright. Join us as we meet some unique breeds.
Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm your host, Marcia Panucci. There are thousands of breeds of dogs and cats out there, making it hard to choose just one as a pet or a companion. Today, we're taking a look at some unique breeds, the most intelligent, the fastest, and even the more peculiar ones. We have a lot to show you, so let's get started.
Come on.
These dogs are fast.
That boy. Go get him. Go on. Go.
Greyhounds are the fastest dogs on the planet, able to reach speeds over 40 miles an hour. While impressive, speed isn't all that these amazing dogs are about.
They're a calm breed. They are very gentle. They're kind of understated. They don't bark a lot. They don't howl a lot unless you really want to get them going.
Chris Kemper is the president of Racing Dog Retirement Project, a nonprofit group focused on giving these retired athletes a new, happy, healthy home life.
We call them the classic 45-mile-an-hour couch potato because, yes, they can go 45 miles an hour, but the rest of the time they'd prefer to be sitting up on your couch. When I had one Labrador, my table would be cleaned by a tail on a regular basis, and I've had 5 Greyhounds in the house, and it's been 5 times calmer in my home than just having one Lab.
Greyhounds have been used for competitive dog racing for almost 100 years.
Some of these dogs that come to us have been loved like a family pet, there is no doubt. Some of them were just runners, and all they enjoyed doing was running. They didn't love people, and so they just were there for the thrill of the race. Those are some of the dogs that came to us later on in life, but some of the dogs that didn't love to race, they start racing at 18 months, and we've gotten some at 18 months. They've done some of their maiden races and didn't care for the sport, and so decided that they'd rather do something different.
How do you get the dogs? Do you go to the track?
When a dog no longer becomes a viable racer, then the trainers will typically make the phone call to the owners and say, we have an underperforming asset, unfortunately. Can we go ahead and set this dog up for adoption? And at that point, we have been able to reach out to a couple of local trainers and over time set up our relationships with them to allow them to donate the dog to us.
While the dogs may be speedy on the track, Chris stresses they're not long-distance runners.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go. But they are just a loving animal that has a lot of misconceptions. People see Greyhounds and believe, okay, 5-mile run, let's go. Well, they're sprinters. A race is 38 seconds long, 40 miles an hour, and then they sleep for 4 hours. They're the cheetahs of the dog world. They take a long time to recover.
Many times, the dogs that come through RDRP have never lived in a home, and it takes foster families to help them learn the ropes.
When they're racing, they're crate trained, and they're in crates most of the time, and very comfortable in their crate. Their crate is their den. When they come here, they have a larger crate because we do have larger kennels for them. Their transition from spot to spot is not very difficult. They're used to a bit of a transient lifestyle, but here's their biggest change comes when it's that first 24 hours in a home. They've never seen a mirror before, so they'll often look at the mirror and start to woof at their reflection or try and look around the mirror. Some of those are the neat things that happen that they have to be introduced to a home life. They don't know how to play.
Chris has fostered 30 dogs and says these sprinters make great pets.
The Greyhounds, there's an allure. There is a true allure. What did you find with the Greyhounds?
They are just, their demeanor is wonderful. They're just such a wonderful pet. They come in raw from the track, not knowing what home living is like. Just like any dog that has been taken in from the streets, they never seem to forget that this is a wonderful place, this is a wonderful feeling. They all have their own personality, and watching them run is just amazing. To see a dog that can go 35, 40 miles an hour in 3 strides and watch them run for fun is just a fabulous, fabulous feeling.
When Sarah Perkins Cortese goes out with her dog Kismet, she knows they are bound to meet some new friends.
Well, Kismet, do you have the same hairstylist I do? Huh? Yeah? Tell us about this beautiful creature.
Kismet is a Chinese crested hairless, and he's just an incredible boy.
He's just perfect, isn't
he is. He makes people smile, and that's really one of the things we want to do.
You see, Kismet is a Chinese crested dog, a practically hairless breed known for their tufts of fur on their legs and head.
What is the allure with this beautiful dog?
Well, you know, I think I first learned about this dog from the ugliest dog contest.
Oh.
And I just thought, oh, really? And what it is hairless dogs also have the gene that they have no teeth or less teeth. There's something about this dog that I just fell in love with.
Despite having little to no hair for grooming, these dogs do require some extra care when it comes to their skin.
What special care do you have to give Kismet because of this type of skin?
It's a good question, Marcia. You know, hairless dogs do require a lot of extra care. It's not a lot of work, but you need to shampoo them regularly. I use coconut oil on his skin because they can get skin irritants, the grass, allergies. The best thing I can recommend is just sunscreen if you're out in the sun, or clothes, but to bathe and put oil on him.
Now, he can be out
Absolutely.
in the weather.
Absolutely. He normally will wear a shirt when I take him out.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
I brought a shirt with him, but he normally, if he's going to be in the sun for a long walk, I'll put a light little shirt on him.
Despite their name, it's believed the Chinese crested actually originated on a different continent.
What is the history of a Chinese crested as you know it?
Well, you know, it's not totally defined. What they believe is that they came from the African hairless dog, and then the Chinese bred them down to be smaller. I think in his case, he might be more of the African.
He got some of the larger genes,
Right.
that's for sure. But you know what? He's solid.
He is.
He's got some muscles. We're not talking any fat here, pal.
While Kismet is hairless, there are some dogs in the breed born with full coats.
You know what I think is interesting, not just about Kismet, but about the breed that people are always surprised, is that in the litter there can be powder puffs, which are fully coated long-haired dogs along with the hairless.
Is he the typical color?
They can come in slate. Actually, his brothers and sisters, he was the only chocolate spotted one. His brothers and sisters are all black and white, or the powder puff is white. So he is one of the colors, but I wouldn't say typical. The chocolate isn't as typical. I just feel very blessed. Kismet came into my life at a really rough time, and he is the most affectionate dog. He loves to go under the covers and cuddle with me. He is definitely a lap dog, and he's a very sensitive soul.
Still ahead on Animal Outtakes, we'll introduce you to one of the smartest dog breeds on the planet. But first,
she just seems to have a different confidence than a normal cat.
a fast cat with a big brain to boot, along with a pair of kitties that might have you scratching your head. We'll introduce you to some unique felines after the break.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, Please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
I'd like you to meet my new adorable best friend. This is Huckleberry, and she came here with her mom, and she is just a love. And you know, she still has the little garlic breath, which tells you she's just an adorable, adorable puppy. She is a cur, and she is looking for a forever home. Her mom is here with her, and her mom is taking care of her, but she's also running around Dante's den, so the two of them can go to separate homes. She can be your best friend too.
For me, it started with one hit of sardines. Oh, sardines. That's where I learned to beg. And it was easy to score free fish. I mean, hey, with this dolphin smile, yeah, it's illegal, but no one cares. I had a monkey on my back, man. I was jonesing for people food, hanging out under boats, dodging props and hooks, and doing dangerous stuff that I'm ashamed to admit. Look, I know that I can kick this if people would just stop feeding me.
Say hello to Tiggy. Tiggy isn't your ordinary house cat.
She's an Egyptian Mau, and they are one of the fastest domesticated cats.
Andy Andina has been sharing her office at Cat Depot with Tiggy, and the two have become fast friends.
She has kind of like a Burmese look, but the slenderness of a Siamese. So she is pretty slender, but she is a hardy cat. She can jump, she can run, she's very flexible. She seems to be very healthy.
Besides being fast, this unique breed of cat is also known to be, well, chatty.
They're very vocal, and Tiggy is very vocal. She likes to greet everyone that walks in, and she sings to me throughout the day.
Is she cuddly?
She does. She'll jump up on my lap and meow for attention. She'll give me little love nips if I'm not giving her enough attention, and I'll just keep petting her.
Tiggy is the first Egyptian Mau to stay at the not-for-profit shelter specializing in cats. And Andy says, you can tell she's different from the rest.
You can tell that she is a different breed. She's very outspoken. She's very active. She is always into everything. She just seems to have a different confidence than a normal cat.
Speaking of different breeds, we found another unique animal visiting the shelter. Yoda and his sister Leah were back getting a checkup at the clinic.
So Lauren, who do you have here?
This is Yoda.
And Yoda is a rather rare breed of cat, a sphinx.
Yes.
And what can you tell us about the sphinx breed?
Well, they're hairless, obviously. They are very active, very affectionate animals.
Lauren Menendez adopted Yoda from Cat Depot a year ago and was so smitten with the breed, she brought home Leah a few months later. There's one place, she said, you'll always find her cats.
Because they have no hair, they like to stay warm. So what happens is they tend to sit in the sun. If there's a glass door or a window, they want to be in that sun all day long.
Since the Sphinx cat is hairless, you might assume that there would be less grooming involved. But as Lauren tells us, that's not the case.
He gets bathed once a week. We try to do that every Sunday. The Sphinx build up oils on their skin, just like we do. And you basically have to remove some of that.
The care also includes a deep cleaning of their ears and eyes, which both require cleaning on a regular basis. And it's important to protect that bare skin from the sun.
They are not allowed to go outside because they will get sunburnt, just like you and I would. There's nothing protecting them.
We've heard so much about how cats are aloof. But Yoda's different, isn't he?
He is. He's not shy. He does run to the door if the doorbell rings or if somebody knocks. He is extremely active, and I think one thing that sets the Sphinx apart from cats with hair is they're extremely affectionate. I think part of that is due to the fact that they're a little bit older and they like to snuggle and be warm. I hear people say all the time that, oh, my cat doesn't sit on my lap, or I can't even pick my cat up. And you don't find that with the Sphinx. They're literally the complete opposite.
Another major misconception about the Sphinx cat is that they are good for people with allergies.
The allergen in a cat is in their saliva. The Sphinx are still going to have the same allergens as a cat with fur or hair. So
the fact that they don't have any hair is really not the indicator.
No, nope, not at all.
So while the care of a Sphinx cat may seem daunting, Lauren says, it's well worth the extra effort.
It's a little bit more work, especially the bathing and the cleaning, the maintenance of them. But in the end, they're so affectionate and so loving. I think, it's completely worth it. It makes up for the time that you put into them on a daily and weekly basis.
Coming up next, there's some of the smartest dogs in the world. What you can expect if you bring home a border collie.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org. And now it's time for Tales from Dante's Den.
More than 100 dogs and their owners recently gathered for quite the event. Top Dog is the annual fundraiser for Dante's Den, a community that provides a home-like setting and loving care for dogs who have been separated from their owners because of military service, illness, or worse. The evening features a competition for our four-legged friends, a spoof of the Westminster Dog Show. Instead of Best in Breed, these canines are vying for titles like Best Dressed, Best Hair, Best Trick, and Best Kiss. Those winners are then the finalists for the title of Top Dog. This year's winner was chosen by the crowd, and a gorgeous Great Dane was named the 2015 Top Dog. As part of her reign, she'll be a spokesdog for Dante's Den for the upcoming year and will be a special guest at next year's event to crown her successor. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den and the Top Dog competition, visit our website www.dantesden.org.
Go get him. Go.
We've seen some fast dogs, some interesting looking dogs, and a few cats with some unique traits of their own. But when it comes to smarts, the Border Collie has it made.
What a good man. I'm just warming him up.
We're here with Nicholas, who is 6 years old.
Yes,
Going on 1.
absolutely.
Yeah. Barb, tell us about Nicholas.
I've known Nick since he first came, and he was 6 years old. He is 6 years old now, and came into Jill at about 6 months, I believe, of age. Now he is able to do dock diving, agility, and also competition obedience. So there's hope. He's also very full of himself.
Down, lie down.
Nicholas is a Border Collie mix.
You stay
Border
back,
Collies are
stay,
herding dogs,
stay.
best known for their energy and focus.
Border Collies and dogs that are Border Collie mix have tremendous focus. They have tremendous drive. They want to please. They're many times a one-person dog.
We have always heard that Border Collies are the height of intelligence. Are they really that smart?
Oh yeah. Borders want to please. They have, and they want to play. They want to do. They're doers. They love what they do. They're very athletic. They're built to work, and herding obviously. But that's why they're so good at all the different dog sports.
You ready? Can you, Nikki, sit? Stay. Good, stay. Nick, come. Get around. Yes, good boy. He's ready. Yeah, he loves this. This is his thing. Agility, he's like, oh, I'll do 3 jumps and then woof. But he loves the obedience.
But these loyal dogs can also make great pets.
Sure. Now, how about children? How are they with children?
Border Collies, when they're brought up with a family and socialized properly, the children are trained, and we do need to train the children too, of what's appropriate and what isn't for handling any dog, not just a Border Collie. So I think that they do make wonderful dogs for families. I know families that have them and are thrilled, and the kids are thrilled, and they grow up with that, and they learn, and then they become junior handlers, and they go on to do other things as well.
One thing to remember, Border Collies need to be active and have a lot of exercise. A lot of exercise.
Now, this is not your couch potato.
No, this is not. If they want to, I love dogs. I love all breeds of dogs. But if they want a couch potato, they don't want a Border Collie. If you're a jogger, if you like to be outdoors, involved in sports, if you're athletic and you're willing to learn how to do things with your dog, it makes all the difference in the world. And you meet lots of great people.
Wow. Activities like dock diving, lure coursing, fly ball, and agility are some ways you can burn off some of that excess energy.
How hard is it for you to be an owner, handler of a Border Collie? They're so intelligent. Do you have to stay 20 steps ahead of them?
You have to think. You have to have a plan. They need time to rest out. They need time to know that the work they're doing is all done. And that's one command I teach my dogs, all done, meaning we're finished what we're doing, now we're going to go rest. Okay? But it does take practice and it does take time. But if they are tired and they're physically tired, it's so much easier.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org.
Okay, he's mad. Yeah. That's a wrap on this week's episode of Animal Outtakes. We hope you've enjoyed exploring some of the more unique breeds of animals out there and learned a little something about them too. Join us again next week for another outstanding animal adventure. We'll see you then.
Oh boy.
Jumped right on your shell.
Probably got that one. Hopefully you didn't get your lens. You put your camera down, I'm sure you get plenty of licks.
Look at this. Are you doing one of these?
Farrah Fawcett. Are you doing a Farrah Fawcett?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.